So today gonna be carving a gnome. We've got this guy with the little hat and this guy with the tall hat. I think we'll do one with the tall hat. And I just got these knives. I just got back from Switzerland. Sorry about the background noise, by the way. It's my washer going. And my wife is doing all of our clothes because, of course, travel makes them dirty. So anyway, let's jump right into it. So we have this guy right here. I'm gonna actually set this guy off to the side. So we've got this guy right here, and we are going to carve something similar to him. So let's start off with where the hat's gonna go. Let's try out this knife here. Let's see how it does. I'm gonna select a location of like right here. So far, so good. I guess this knife has a little bit of, oh wow, that's kind of nice. All right, let's cut this out here and get kind of the eyebrow line going, or like where the hat's gonna go. Okay, cut this out. All right, let's see. Okay, you can see that. So we've got a small little body here, but we're gonna go around, we're gonna make the hat go a little bit down in the back. So cut a little bit at an angle. Boy, this knife is nice. Just feels good. I like the handle too. All right. Quickly rough this in. Don't want to take forever doing this. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna carve a gnome, little gnome. Okay, carve this back a little bit. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is we need to carve a nose. Got a pencil here so I can demonstrate that. Let's give him a nice round nose. Gnomes have to have round noses. Let's kind of get the mustache going here. Let's see, let's do this sort of mustache. Something just roughly. We're not even going to show his eyes, I don't think. And then the beard will go something like this. You'll see a little bit of the feet. Doesn't have to be perfect, just something to get us going. So let's cut out the roundness of the nose. All right, something like, hopefully you can see this, something like this. Okay. And then let's make a little V cut around that to show the nose. I like my characters to have big noses. I think it adds a lot of, it just makes them look cooler. Boy, this knife is nice. I don't even know what it's called. I got it in Brienz, Switzerland, sort of the carving capital of the world. There's a carving school and everything there. And there was a young lady who was carving in a shop, and I talked to her for a little bit, and she suggested some knives, and I ended up with these two. The one that I am using now, and the other one. Okay, so we kind of shaved off the side of his nose there. That's all right. Okay, so we got that going. There's his big old nose. Okay, so now let's excavate some of this wood away from the nose to try and make it stick out properly. Okay, cut away some of this on the side. Don't want to cut away too much of that mustache, but you know, you can always take out a little bit more to make it look a little bit more prominent. Okay, let's cut this stuff away. And there goes my boiler. Now, hopefully you can still hear me. Sorry about the noise. Okay. Okay, so that's the side profile. And here is what it's gonna look like. Let's cut out the beard, or the mustache right now. So we've got a cut here, and a cut here. Just run it all the way out to the ends. Then V-cut it so that it can be kind of outlined. We'll try to cut away some of our pencil lines. Try to go nice and deep with the initial cut, okay? And let's see here. Nope. It's pretty rough right now, but that's okay. We'll clean it up later. Take out a little bit more here. So that way we can make that nose really have some prominence. Now obviously we're not going to leave the nose like that. We want it to be more or less, we want it to be rounded, a little bit rounded, and have a little bit more of a realistic shape to it. But for now, let's just call that good. So now here we're going to have to do some of the shaping of the hat. So let's make another cut up above, another little V cut. Okay, dig that in nice and deep, and let's do this one too. Dig that in nice and deep. Let's make a cut here. All right. Get that all in nice and deep. Okay. And we'll cut this back a little bit. And then we're going to do it on all the four sides. Okay. All right. All four sides, and then you're going to connect it because that's going to be sort of the brim of the hat, you know. So you can see it's taking shape. This will indeed be some sort of gnome. All right. I don't want to leave these two with too much of the little pieces in there, so let's clean them up a little bit. All right. Okay. Oh, sorry, this is taking forever. All right, let's get that all cleaned up. Okay. And now we need to take this front portion away because, as you can see, that it's supposed to look like that a little bit. That's what a gnome's hat looks like a lot of times. So let's take away a lot of this front portion here. Oh, got a little bogged down there. Take off the corners. Remember, it's going to come to somewhat of a little peak there at the top. Boy, this knife is sharp, nice and sharp. It digs in a lot. Gets a little bound up. It's good to have a nice sharp knife because then it's a little safer. Okay, let's just dig away this stuff as much as possible. Oh, boy, that digs in there good. You can see the shininess of it. That shininess means that it's a nice sharp cut. If your cuts start to dull out, then you have to strop your knife. Okay. Don't go right to sharpening because then you'll lose the edge. I mean, you'll get it back, but you don't want to have to sharpen it every time. That'd be a lot. Yeah, maybe we'll skip through this part a little bit. Okay, I'm actually gonna skip that. Okay, now that we've shaped his hat, we want to give him like a proper hairline and shoulders. So again, all you do is just cut a little V cut here. Okay. This will be sort of the back of his hair. And cut that in. Okay. Oop, a little bit deeper there. That'll sort of show his hair, his hairline. a little deeper. Okay, so you can see sort of the back of his head. Okay, and then he's got to have, you can see here, his hands are just kind of in his pockets. So let's cut some arms in. Some short little arms, okay? So let's start up somewhere around here. Cut that in. Cut that in. All right. And a V cut. And another V cut. Okay. I'll do the same on the other side. So that's sort of, you can see his arm. Somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. Just cut it in. His hands are in his pockets anyway. We could do cut out his hands and show them, but I don't know. I don't think we need to. He's so small that it's okay if it just shows his hands are in his pockets. Cut this out with the V cut as per usual. Cutting it kind of deep is good too. That really shows it. Okay, now, as you can see, the beard is sort of outlined right here. So we'll make that happen next. So we'll cut in on the sides, corners of the mustache. Okay, and sort of make that its own entity. Okay, so you can see his mustache there. And then let's cut out the bottom of the beard here. Try it again. Sort of a little V there. And then we'll show his feet on the other side. Okay. So the basic shapes are there. And this might be, right here, will be the front of his shoes. Could be a little bit delicate here. Cut out this corner a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but what we're doing is we're cutting it out and then we'll paint it later. And I always paint my carvings. I think it makes them look way better. Shape the nose a little bit more. And actually, let's take back the front of this thing a little bit, so it's not so deep or so prominent. Okay. So you can see here. Now, right here, he's got his hair needs to sort of connect down to his beard. So let's do that now. In fact, we'll take off these little corners here a little bit. Okay. Now we'll round this out a little bit on his mustache. And then we will just simply connect. Make a little cut here to show the top of his shoulders and the sides of his hair and beard. Okay. Same here. And now this will outline nicely with the paint. So let's get rid of these corners here. We don't need them. On the back side here. And then kind of make a few cuts here on the back. Take away some of that raw wood. And then there's a little corner here we want to shine up a little bit. Clean that up. Okay. Now on the back side, it's not super important what it looks like, but here's the basic shape of this gnome. And then let's shape the beard a little bit. Let's get it to a nice roundness, and you can do the beard any way you want. You could put little braids or whatever, but for our purposes, we're gonna want to do just the most simple thing ever, because we don't want to be at this all day. That'd make for a pretty boring video. It's probably boring already, I don't know. Okay. And then we might round off the shoes a little bit after we get this beard more prominent. Okay, now round off the corners here because the shoes are not going to be perfectly square like that. And yeah, this is pretty much a completed gnome. And then when you paint it, it'll look something like this. Okay, that's the basic shape of it. I'm actually going to make the nose a little bit more prominent here, and that will help to define his face even more so. The good thing about gnomes and dwarves when you carve them is their face is 90% beard and mustache, so you can hide a lot of the details that way. And this is a basic gnome. Clean up this hat a little bit. Let's see here. I gotta say, this knife is really good. It's really sharp, and it does a good job cutting. Maybe almost a little too well, because it digs in when you don't really want it to. It kind of goes deep because it's so sharp. It just wants to dive into the wood. But I guess there are worse problems to have. A dull knife. A dull knife is a terrible, terrible thing, and a dangerous thing when it comes to wood carving. So anyway, there it is, and then we will paint it up, and it'll look something like either this or this. Thanks for watching.